shit.
Right.
I've seen aunties and my female cousins, stuff like that. To the world, they look strong black women.
Right.
But I've seen them vulnerable like
yeah,
that.
for sure. You know what it's like when
where they crying like little girls.
Yeah, right. Because that shit, and everybody feels that pain on some level.
Everybody.
I mean, you're going to feel it, you know what I mean? But it's just about how you deal with it and how you choose to let it out, to allow people to see it and not, you know what I mean? And so everybody does it different. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So they did. Yeah. So she says, I'm scared. He says, I am too. They kiss. It ends. That's pretty much the end of the movie. They have one other scene when they walk down the street, but it's not nothing major.
Yeah, right.
But all in all, I feel like it was a great film, great effort from Eddie Murphy. It was excellent how he made it more black than I've ever seen on the screen.
Real talk, man.
More black people than I've ever seen on the screen. But it was beautiful.
And so many great actors in that movie.
It was. The list just goes all the way down.
All those people that was in that movie are all like legends now, man.
Yeah, everybody.
All of them. You know
everybody. It was a great, great movie.
Great cast, man.
What would you rate it, scale from 1 to 10, and why?
Man, I mean, to me, honestly, Boomerang is in, like, as far as classic movies go for me, it's in my top 10. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well,
you know what? Let me explain it. A 7 is a good movie.
Right.
A 8 is a great movie. A 9 is an excellent movie. And then 10 is a classic, like perfect masterpiece.
I mean, it's at least 9 for me. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? Because it's super up there, man. This embodies so much of what our culture is like as black folks and the way we deal with relationships and issues. It's bigger than just the, you know, the things you see as far as the business and how cultured these people are and how much money they have, but it's real relationship shit. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And it's showing how people really deal with this shit and the feelings and it's so real. You know what I mean? Cause we know how that shit goes. We've been through this type of shit. So when you get movies like that can talk to you every time you see it, I've seen this movie, I don't know how many times. I've seen it, I can at least say at least 50 times, if not more. You know what I mean? And every time I watch it, it's still something. If it's on TV, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's one of those. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a baby boy. It's going to be on TV so much, you got to watch it.
I told you last night, I got home last night and 11 o'clock at night, it was on BET. So I watched it again. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's one of those movies. So it's definitely up there for me. I would give it at least a 9.
A 9 is solid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 9 also.
Yeah.
I feel like culturally, this was a huge movie for black people back then.
Definitely.
But even more now, because I feel like that movie was ahead of its time.
Definitely.
Because you don't even see all black movies now.
Yeah.
He did this shit 30 years ago.
Right.
When Hollywood was definitely like, hell no, y'all can't do this.
And it's still culturally relevant right now.
It's still relevant. The story, the relationships are still what people deal with right now.
Same shit, man.
He was way ahead of his time.
Right.
I feel like a 9 is solid. I feel like 9 is solid. I've always enjoyed the movie. I will always love the movie.
Me too, man.
It would definitely be a movie that as I get older, like now I have grandkids, once they get to a certain age, I'm going to have them watch it.
Yeah, right.
Cause they're going to be going through the same shit too.
Same shit.
Love and relationships affects everybody at some point in time in their life.
You ain't never lied, brother.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the Boomerang story was told perfect. You play people like this, you might get played yourself.
It's going to come back to you, man.
It's like, be ready.
Right. And the thing is, you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen, with who it's going to happen, but it's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? And it is great to see those stories unfold. You know what I mean? And you see how people go through it, and it kind of prepares you in a way to deal with shit. You know what I mean? Because you get to see it. You know what I mean? So, but it's classic. I love that.
Yep. So we're going to end it with this last question. This show was the main ingredient.
Yes, sir.
You tell me what was the main ingredient that made you feel like this was a 9. What was it? What was the one thing about this movie? It could be the scenery. It could be the casting. It could be the script writing. It could be whatever. What made you feel like it made you give it a 9?
So for me, it's the title itself. Boomerang.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? The main ingredient of the whole movie and the premise is the boomerang. You know what I mean? And the way they encapsulate that meaning of how things go around and come around within that movie, it's like, it's perfect. You know what I mean? It shows you the essence of how it can happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? So to me, Boomerang encapsulates everything. I mean, that's the main ingredient in this thing. It's the Boomerang. It's the name of the movie.
It's the name.
It's the name.
That's a good point of view.
On the real, because if you look at it, the whole movie is really about that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And it really shows you how it goes back and forth. And then not just in the sense of him and Robin, but in the sense of him and Angela, and the sense of him and his friends and their dynamic and the shit that goes around, coming around with them. It's a lot to it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I think that's the main ingredient in the name.
You know what? You threw me for a loop with that. I didn't think you was going to say that. Like, the name. That's actually kind of dope. That's actually kind of dope. For me, the main ingredient was the blackness. I love seeing all those black faces. I know when I first watched it, I didn't hold it to the high regard I hold it to now.
Right.
But cause I was young, I was only 20 at the time.
Right, of course.
But seeing how culturally, how important it was to see those black faces back then. Like I said, when Hollywood was not letting us do movies like that.
92.
92?
Right.
You gonna make an all black movie?
House Party and shit like that.
Oh my God.
A couple of those.
If it wasn't stupid and goofy, they wasn't letting us do it.
Real shit.
So for this black man, and he did it with his own production company. To make a movie, and he hired who he wanted to hire.
Dope people too.
All black faces and pull it off. And it was a success.
Super success.
Because the number one thing Hollywood says, black movies don't sell, which is a fucking lie.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's a lie, the biggest lie ever.
Some of the best movies ever are black movies.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
For real.
So it's like, for me, the main ingredient was the blackness that he put into the movie, the culture that he put into the movie, the love, the story that he put in, even the love between him and his homeboys.
Right.
That's real shit.
For real.
You got real love for your partners like that.
You can see it, right.
And you can see it.
Right.
And it's like, even on that one scene where Tyler, Martin Lawrence's character, brought them both over there to talk.
When I was arguing,
He was like, y'all need to talk.
We brothers.
We
you know
brothers.
Brothers.
Talk.
Right. Real shit.
No fighting, no yelling.
Real shit.
Talk.
When you have friends like that, though, that's what I'm glad you said that, because that's a real ass scene.
Yeah.
Because we've all had that moment with our friends. We had those issues where niggas got to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know the same niggas I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've all been there in that type of situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's a real ass scene. And
that's a real scene.
You know what I mean?
Because in this movie, they're grown men.
Right.
Grown men that are friends.
Right.
From the sandbox. They're supposed to be able to talk to each other.
Exactly.
It don't have to be no fight.
For what? You know what I mean?
Especially over a woman. It's like,
come on now. No.
We can't talk about this.
Real shit. Especially when it's your friend like that.
When it's your friend.
That's your homie, man. That's not like just some fly by night person. No, that's somebody you know very well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your dog. You know, it's a little different. So you got to fix that.
You got to fix that.
You got to.
And I mean, granted, if I'm Marcus, I'm definitely going to tell my partner, like, dude, if you felt like that, you really should have said something.
Right.
Like, don't lie about it.
Right.
Because you being like my brother, I would have left her alone had you said I'm in love with her.
And you know me, nigga. If you give me some little glimpse of light, nigga, I'm going to take it. So you know me, nigga. Stop playing.
Stop playing.
Right.
So I felt like Marcus had enough leeway to tell him. I would have told him that on that roof deck. I would have been like, dude, you should have just told me that I really want to build with this woman. So please leave her alone, Marcus.
Right. And I would have did that.
Yeah, I would have just left her alone.
For sure. Right.
I would have just left her alone. So,
but those are conversations that have to be had. You know what I mean?
They have to be, and they're difficult conversations. Yeah, right. You're dealing with vulnerability.
Right.
You're dealing with people's emotions.
For sure.
Because you always got them partners that play it off like he don't care about a girl, but he really in love with her.
Right. But see, that's the thing, though.
He really in love with her.
That's the problem with a lot of black men, though, is being able to admit some shit because they think it's going to make them look a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Nigga, just be real with yourself.
Just be
that's
real.
All that matters.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how you're going to look, man. Yeah. Just admit to how you feel.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that. And that's what problems with most niggas. They always feel like them feeling a certain type of way gonna make a nigga look at them a certain type of way.
They feel like they're gonna look like a sucker.
Yeah, but
you look more like a sucker by not expressing how you feel.
Exactly. Nigga, you pretending to be something you're not.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So keep it a buck and just be, fuck it, let it be what it is.
Yeah,
you know
keep it a buck. Keep it a buck.